Okay, everyone, week 8, we're focusing on financials, understanding the basics of them, talk a little bit about bootstrapping, get into that, but the big thing is understanding financials. Okay, first, we're going to have a financial ratio assignment. Second, don't freak out. I know a lot of you don't like financials, so don't freak out on me. Trust me here. I am going to give you all the ratios. I'm going to give you documentation so you can understand the ratios. I'm going to give you all the numbers possible so you can answer all the questions. You can do any Google searching you want. You can do any research online you want. Just don't work together. Okay, that's it. What I want you to understand, though, is that this isn't about your ability in math. That's what I think scares a lot of people. What the key here is, I need you to understand why financials matter, because they do. They're actually one of the probably most under assessed skill, as well as the one that's probably most important. I don't want you to be accountants. I don't want you to be bookkeepers. We pay people to do that. What I need you to understand is how your financials work and how your cash works and how your profit works. Because if you don't know that, that is how you can get taken advantage of by others, as well as it's how most businesses fail as small entrepreneurs. Because they don't understand things like cash flow properly. They don't understand profit enough, okay? And so this is a good exercise for everybody. A lot of this is just literally filling in the numbers. The key value in it and the key where the marks is the explanation. So even if you pick the wrong number, explain to me why this ratio is important, or why company A is better than company B, or company 1, company 2, is because that's what matters, okay? Anyone can look up a formula. I'm not asking you to memorize formulas. I think it's ridiculous anyone does, because in today's day and age, you don't need to. What you do need to do is understand what it means. The meaning of those numbers is everything. Okay, that'll be the difference between success and failure. All right, have you ever seen, for example, I've seen it a lot, people out there really busy working all the time and still living paycheck to paycheck, and these are people that are in a business that they should be making really good money, and a lot of people just assume, maybe they have issues or they have other obligations. A lot of the time it's just mismanagement. Okay, there's analysis that you need to do for yourself as a business owner, such as an assessment if it's worth doing a job. As a realtor, there's times I say no to people. They want me to cut my commission too much. No, it doesn't work for me financially. Let's move on. It's too much of a waste of my time, because you have to factor your resources. In many cases, as an entrepreneur, that's your time or your effort or your cash, and you have to factor it versus what it'll do for you. So it's not just saying, is this thing profitable? Sometimes you have to say, is this option better than that option? So, for example, leasing versus owning. Okay, you lease an item. Let's say a car. Doesn't matter. If you lease it, you'll pay interest on it, and it'll cost you more long term. But the offset to that is you have now greater amount of cash versus going out and taking all your cash and buying it directly. Okay, so leasing has the advantage of increasing your cash flow immediately so that it's dispersed over time. The advantage to paying it out right away is the fact that you actually pay less for that over the long term. So you have to make those types of trade-offs, just like financing and leasing are different. You finance something, you pay a higher payment because at the end you own it. With a lease, at the end you don't own it. You have to do a payout to then own it. So my point is that it comes down to these assessments, and that's in your personal life or in your business. So make sure you take the time. So outside financials, we also have to talk about the terms, okay? You need to understand, in the financial world, a lot of terms are either interchangeable or partially interchangeable. So what I mean by that is, if you see sales often equals the word revenue, okay? Or net revenue. So the idea to it is that revenue is an example and sales of interchangeable words. Just like, for example, in my financial statements, you'll get, this is offline actually, is that cost of revenue is the same as cost of goods sold. Okay, so they're interchangeable again. So you want to make sure, if you're having troubles with a word, Google it and see if there's a synonym or another financial word that matches what I've given you. Okay, and the more financial experience you have, the easier that is. But at the end of the day, this is a great exercise for everyone, because I want you to tell me which company is better and why. And that is the greatest part to this exercise. If you get the numbers wrong, you're still going to get a majority of your marks, okay? The key to it is the assessment. I can't overemphasize that. Please spend the time on the assessment. I want you to understand it, because I do not want to see you create a successful business and get screwed by somebody, all right? Because that's one of the easiest ways for someone to take advantage of you, is through the accounting. So the thing is, if you don't have a good understanding of it, you can get taken advantage of very easily. And even if you trust that person, even if you have a 0.01% chance in your head that they could take advantage of you, you had better understand it, okay? I've seen way too many great failures because of it, so I don't want it to be you that fails that way. So please don't. Please pay attention to what I've said, and please do it the way I've asked, okay? And spend some effort. This is probably one of the best valuable science. This is part 2 of the large project. So we've done the intro. Now I want to do the financials. Final part is we'll sort of do the middle and talk about the marketing and that side of it. But please, 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 please do this. It's the most important assignment, I would argue, in this whole project, and it's the one that most of you are most scared to do. Don't be. It's not about the numbers. It's about understanding it. I've given you the tools and the paperwork. You can access online whatever you can't find to get a good understanding, and the key is understanding it, okay? Please. Thank you very much. Have a good one. I just wanted to super emphasize that. All right, bye.